Well, I think that might be as good as we've ever played with this group. We were really, I think, focused on the defensive end and got them to take some tough shots early, and we're a good rebound the ball. And then, you know, then it became where we, even when they beat us, got the shot they wanted, they had a hard time making them. And so, but the key for us was that we were really focused on just giving them one shot. So I thought we were really active rebounding. They beat us on the boards the other night, and we were able to beat them on the boards tonight, which I thought was a big, part of the success. I really liked the way that we played offense. There was about a 5 or 6 minute stretch there in the first half where we fell in love with the three-point shot. But for the most of the game, we moved that ball from side to side, didn't stick. Guys, shot the ball. That second group that came in late in the game was every bit as good as the first group that played most of the game. So, and then we got a lot of guys that played well, got minutes, and it's good to see Zach back after that shoulder's been hurting him for a couple of weeks, but he looked a lot better in practice yesterday, and today he was kind of back to his old self. So hopefully that's a sign of good things to come. But it was a good game tonight, and look forward to a big weekend next weekend. Any questions?
Basketball's a crazy game, but to go from a 2-point win to a 58-point win seems to kind of
I think that if there's ever a time when you wonder why a coach acts like he acts, this should explain it. Because both teams come to win every night, and it's very unpredictable. Everyone wants to predict the outcome of a game before it starts, and I mean, these kids play, and they play hard, and they determine what's going to happen. And every night's a new night.
You sense after the Pacific loss that they really took that personally and wanted to get better, and they had that great weekend in the Bay Area. Do you think they took the win, the 2-point win against San Diego, realizing they could play a lot better?
I think there's a couple things involved there. One, the last time in the building was a disappointment, and so I mean we've had great crowds, and these kids have got a lot of, there's a lot of pride where they want to play well for the people who come. And I think that tonight there's probably a combination of a couple of things, but our guys have challenged themselves, and our practices have been really good, and we battled hard 2 nights ago. I mean, San Diego shot the ball really well, especially in the first half at their place, and got us on our heels, and we had to correct it, and got 42 points in the second half and held them down long enough to get out of there with a big win. But it'll be, I told a couple of guys, I'm excited to see how this next weekend goes, and then we'll get ready for the tournament.
How about your defense, just right up from the get-go? How dialed in were you guys?
Well, I thought we had a really good plan. We made a couple adjustments, and Coach Lewis did a great job. He had to scout all week, so he didn't get expelled. Usually I have one coach do one night and another coach do it the next night, but since it was San Diego, he had them for both nights. And our big guys were really active, getting up on the screen and helping with that driver. They drove us really to the middle of the floor over there, and I think we were able to keep them out on the perimeter. And then when they did drive, Court was really active early, and Nate came in and was protecting the rim. So defense was good. And mainly our defense was good all game.
Coach, how hard do you feel it is to stay sharp on offense after you build a big lead, and how do you feel like you guys did?
I thought tonight we were good. And it is hard. You get a big lead sometimes, and guys can kind of go all different places of how they want to finish the game on offense. And I thought we shared the ball really well. There were a couple of plays in the second half that were just almost picture perfect, and it was just guys making decisions, an extra pass, Nick to Chase, and then Chase back to Nick. I think that there's a lot of really good possessions that we can show here, and hopefully it's that's how we're going to play.
Nate Austin tied the record for most fouls in BYU history. Well,
Did he really?
yeah.
Good for Nate.
Can you maybe just talk about what that means? What that says?
Well, first of
about
all,
him as
you
a
have
player?
to play a lot, okay? And but the one thing about Nate is he's a second and third effort guy. I mean, you always get a great first effort, but he's a guy that'll give you a second and third effort. And he's had a lot of kind of setbacks, you know, with injuries. And if you probably ask him, you know, what his career was going to be like, you know, the first day he stepped on campus, it's probably not, you know, not exactly. He was a really good scorer in high school, and he hasn't been a big scorer for us, but been a great piece to a lot of really good teams.
Now that you're through the weird back-to-back game with San Diego, was it as weird as you thought it would be?
No, it actually felt way more normal and comfortable. I thought the one thing that was really different happened with the LMU game too, but that was 7 days. But with this game here, you're spending so much time where you want to make some adjustments, but you're wondering what adjustments he's going to make before you make yours, because everything's going to be a little bit different. And you never think of that when you're playing a team that you just played a month ago, you know. But so that was a little bit different.
That post-game handshake is always kind of interesting. What did you say to Lamont?
Yeah, I mean, he congratulated us and said that you know, we did a good job getting our guys ready, and I just kind of said thanks. You know, that's a tough spot to be in, and you know, we had, it might be, I mean, you want that second group to go in there and play and to really, you know, get valuable minutes. You wouldn't believe how much time they put in practice and getting beat up by these guys, and they got about 8 or 9 real quality minutes, and they might have been a little more efficient tonight than our first group if you actually break it down. So we'll see. But Dab was good, and JP was good, and Braden Shaw was good. Chat, I mean, it was just all around one of those nights. I think sometimes we talk about this, that there's a couple games every year where you play not very well, and that's really not your team. And then there's a couple games where you play really, really well, and that's not your team. Your team's somewhere in the middle. I think we got one on the right end of that thing tonight, because our guys were really good.
Corbin was limited because of foul trouble, but when he was in there, can you just talk about the impact he
That's
made?
the biggest thing with Corb, is that he's just got to play. He's got to be relentless, and if he you know, is a little over aggressive, that's fine. But when he tries to you know, step back and not be as aggressive, we don't get the same guy. And if he, you know, obviously we need him to learn to be really aggressive like he is, and not foul as much. But we'll take this guy, the guy who's really active, protecting the basket, rebounding out of his area. You know, those are all things that we need from him. So.
Anything else?
Big picture-wise, Dave, just 2 points, 58 points. You got the 2 wins you needed, just big picture at this point in the year. Does it make a difference how it happens, or is it more just getting the wins?
Well, I think you want to really challenge your guys, and they were really challenged this week, and they responded in a great way. We won a game on Thursday where we were never comfortable in the whole game. Our guys were on edge the whole night because San Diego had us on our heels, and we responded in the second half, got a little lead, and then we were able to hang on and get a big win. And then the other 3 games that we played, the Santa Clara, San Francisco, and San Diego game, we've got big leads, and I know how these guys can really play when they're relaxed and comfortable. But usually in March, there's the games you can't relax and you're not comfortable, and so it's good to see our guys, when they really got challenged, respond with a win.